What's up? I got this. That's live for you guys that are listening right now. That is my software, my streaming software. And I'm just showing you right now that I am live. Hello, Miss Ivory. I see you there. Thank you, Distinguished. I'd like to thank you guys for tapping in and tuning in. You're going to get some. This is what is spirituality in 2024, right? I want to warn you right now, religious beliefs may be shaken. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for tapping in and tuning in. I'm going to flip this screen around for you guys that are on IG. That is right there. Hey, guys. That is the Facebook and YouTube, right? This is so wonderful. I had a wonderful time last night speaking on the Carlton Pearson group, which, as you guys will understand or know, that anybody that's a part of the Carlton Pearson expanding consciousness, right? This is me, Life Coach Malachi, and today, fix the old do here, kind of wrap it up, get it out of my face, out of my way. Hey, everyone that's right there on Instagram, I want to do something real quick. You just bear with me. Just in case any of the people that are out there that listen to me or follow the Expanded Conscious page, I want to make sure that I share this with those individuals that let them know that if they want to listen to more of what I have to say, then they can do that, right? Thank you guys for tapping in and tuning in. Oh, who we have here? We have so many. Yes. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much. Everyone that's here, that's in the room. Dion, I appreciate you, brother, for what you've done. You know, I was really blessed last night. It was really beautiful. Todd, Mr. Ron Hudson, who I spent my day with. I love him. He's Miss Kimberly. I see you, Kimberly. Kimberly Beard. This one says Murph. Sometimes I can't tell these names, you know. Yes. Mr. Don. This is all the people. Hey, you guys stick with me, right? Because I know it's so much easier to pop out of this, but I promise you, anytime I get going, it starts getting good, right? And I was making sure I want to share this and just copy this link and let some other people know, just because they might be just at the house, just chilling, right? And I just want to know if, just to let them, hey, come over here on this side for a little while, join me, and have a good time, right? This is more interactive. I like to, of course, I'm going to say what I say, and I may end up highlighting some things and hopefully setting your soul and your spirit on fire for what I have to for what I have to say, because you are included, right? This has not just to do with me, but this has to do with you also. What y'all think? Let me see. We got any comments? Yes. What's up, Mr. Dion? Yes. All right. I guess some people probably didn't. Let's see. All right. We have Miss Ivory there. That's cool. Hopefully, no offense. Not sure why I'm even following you. I just clicked on the live notifications and feel like I'm supposed to be here. Absolutely. If you're following me, most likely there's something that you have seen, something that has resonated with your spirit, and you just absently just clicked on it. And you know what? Hopefully it's going to be okay for you, right? I know it is, to be honest. To tell you the truth, I know it is. If, we get on these social media apps, these applications, and what happens is things are moving so quickly and so fast with us that we just don't really think about. We don't think about it. We just, oh, cool, I like that. And so we end up just following someone, right? And so I see you, you're here, and I promise you, if you just stick with me, we'll probably do a meditation. We'll probably get into some intuitive things, intuitive stuff here, and we will hopefully do something that has your evening, right? Where I'm at, I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is 8:53. And no matter where you are, I know, of course, in California, it's going to be 6:53. And on the East Coast, it's going to be 9:53. So you're sitting around the house, probably ready to, relax, go to bed, whatever the case may be. And so at first I was going to do something here, and it doesn't look like it's going to allow me to do it. I thought that it would be showing me live on my uh open page. It's something that I have to figure out the reason why it's not doing that. But anyways, I want to just give you my attention. It's showing me live on Facebook. Sometimes you got to go back and you have to uh hey Mary, I see you. Sometimes you have to um check these things and make sure that these things are functioning and working, because you'll be going into it and it's not showing what you want it to be showing. So spirituality in 2024, what do you think? Right? What do you think? Just if you really think about spirituality, there's a term that a lot of times people use, and I'm here to tell you that uh I don't have any notes. My notes are just continuously coming to me 24/7. And spirituality in 2024. A lot of times I believe when we talk about those terms, we get it confused with religion. And what I mean by that is the history of, hopefully that is not messing with you guys on Facebook, too bad with this microphone. But a lot of times I think we can get it confused, or it can be confusing because of history. And history tells us that um, we are, uh, when it comes to beliefs, what you believe in, and let alone why you believe that, we don't really care why you believe what you believe, as long as you believe what we believe that you should believe, because we have to add to the coffers. We have to add to the system. We have to add to the to our organizations, right? Because in America, these organizations are built on and built by businesses, or as businesses almost. Come on, right? A 501c3 is a nonprofit, meaning that we are not in business to show a profit, but our business is essentially owned by the general public. And we may have some kind of interest in this system that essentially nonprofit that doesn't pay some form of taxes. And what happens is they have the ability to have a belief system in objective. And if you're faith based, then that means you have a belief system in terms of what you believe about your life. And of course, when we'll go and we'll talk about the deity, the higher supreme being, i.e., God, right? And history has taught us, specifically in America. Ooh, you guys better share this. Like, I really want to share this, because this is coming through, and this teaching right here is going to be fire. It's going to shed some light on some things. God, man, when you start feeling it and your intuition is growing, right? And I come from this Pentecostal background, so I can't help it where I just start, you know what I mean? I start feeling it. And when you start feeling it, sometimes you want to express yourself. And you got, back in the Pentecostal churches, we'll get these things called quickenings. Oh, are you still here with me, Kim? Kim, you still here? Kimberly, you about to get moved and shaken up, right? By what I'm gonna do is I'm projecting some energy into the atmosphere and into the room around my space. But if you're in the sound of my voice, you might begin to hear the words that are going to resonate something that's going to vibrate something inside your spirit. And you're going to feel it. And you're going to feel the presence, right? You'll feel the presence. You see, I got the long hair and the beard, you know. I've been called Black Jesus before. Woo! Oh, real quick, I got to let this audience over here know and saying, I have to let them know because this is good. I don't know why. Why are you messing with me, Instagram or Facebook? Facebook, stop. Jesus. This is hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. This is where we say the devil is a lie. It just doesn't, it's not cooperating for some reason. It is not cooperating. Stop it. Photo, video. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing and I'm trying to. Oh no. Y'all ever mess with Facebook and the application just begin to be weird? I know when this app starts acting weird and it's so annoying. Sorry. They ruin my spirit. Freaking just annoying. That's like I said, that's where they say the devil is a lie. Don't y'all leave me now. Y'all stick around. What else, y'all? You ain't got nothing else going on really majorly. It's late. I don't know why this doesn't want to allow me to do this. Wow. I've never experienced this particular issue. Never have. Oh well. Oh well. Listen, go back into it. Do you ever have to do that? Get all moved and shaken? Don't y'all leave now. Do you ever get moved or shaken? Right? You ever get moved or shaken and then you have to bring it down? You got to bring it down. Hey, for everyone. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, Spirituality 2024. It is time for us to actually get out of the woke stage because ain't nobody woke. We know that people want to use this politically, and people want to use what it means to be woke. What is wokeism? You know, people want to use that. But let me tell you, right? Our high vibes don't match our computers. Hey, listen, I'm here to tell it to leave me alone, right? Especially when you start dealing with Facebook BS. You know, have a brother up here cussing. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness! See, look, I need to stop because people didn't dropped off. They was in here and ready. I had them ready, and then I started jacking with Facebook. That's all right. I'm not too worried about it. They be back. They'll be back. I figured you out. I figured you out, Facebook. I just really wanted to do this. I just want to let these. Something just in my spirit that says, you know what? Let these people know. You know, it all goes to the same cause and the same effort, right? It's not about, no longer is I consider this about just me. This is about us. And I believe that some people want to be blessed. And I'm here to let the spirits, or let the spirit, right, move. Let it move within us, as us, around us, to be us, right? It is our time right now. Leave page. It is our time right now to do what we are, be who we are, become more, right? What has happened for us, here we go. What has happened for us up until this moment is not the same thing that we need to have happen to carry on, right? Who wants to carry on? What's his name? Um, Einstein. He's the one that said that. He's the one that said that. Definition of insanity. The definition of insanity. Welcome, welcome. I have to acknowledge you come into this room and in this space. Just be prepared to understand that a lot of things that you may have experienced or you may be dealing with or dealt with, or you want to be looking for this shakeup. If you see that topic right there, what is spirituality in 2024? And warning, religious beliefs may be shaken, right? Because I know that we have a lot. We have a lot of these beliefs, and now we're starting to enter into the quantum and understanding the quantum space, understanding the quantum realm, understanding there's more to this than we have ever expected or known. It's just a matter of us tapping in and tuning in, willing to discover, willing to become, willing to know, willing to share, willing to investigate, right? Willing to be, right? It's tough because somebody out there is going to come for you. Somebody out there is going to be like, "Oh, you better be careful. Oh, you better watch out. Ooh, ooh, ooh." And a lot of times we talk about, whenever you talk about spirituality, you may start talking about whether you're mixing it with woke, or you mixing it with new age, or you mixing it with new thought, or you mixing it with, right? We come up with these metaphors and these things of the past that we feel like when it comes to spirituality as part of the whole system. Understand what I mean? The system, this realm, this understanding, this consciousness, this flesh, right? This mind. And we talk about mind, body, and spirit. And what I usually say, and what I have a new description of, is mind, body, and soul. There's a difference, right? Why do I separate the soul from the spirit? All right, we're getting into some quantum teaching here, blended in with some possibly like some biblical understandings that we may toss around, right? And the spirit just is. It exists with us or without us. It just is. It always is. It is always present. Understand, the spirit just is. That's the reason why you're gonna have synchronicities and synchrodestinies, things where it's just like, oh, deja vu, right? Oh, just a small world. You always hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's a small world. And the thing is when we things begin to align in your life and begin to work out in your life because you're doing the work, right? Or you looking forward, what happens? Listen, what happens is things begin to happen and begin to show up. Things begin to happen in your life because you are meditating on those things, right? Because you are asking for those things, right? I see Mr. Dominique says spirituality is fully accepting all the people around you exactly where they are, knowing that they too are okay on their spiritual journey, no matter what it may look like. Absolutely. Absolutely. There is levels, there's a space within spirituality is understanding and recognizing self, recognizing you, only you for the most part for that, but then understanding why. What is the point? What's the point? What's the point of your journey versus somebody else's journey? Healing, right? Healing. I almost feel like I need a whiteboard. Healing. Do you understand healing? Right? A lot of the trauma and drama that we deal with in life, and we don't even know why we're dealing with the trauma and drama. Healing. I'm here to say spirituality in 2024. We've been through a lot in trying to understand what this is. History. has taught us. The spirituality and spirit is associated with God, and God is associated as a deity, and that deity, it usually comes in the form of in America specifically, the book, the Bible, right? That's one big one where everybody across the board, across this whole entire country, there's 240 million people that claim Christianity. 240 million, right? We know it's on a decline. Islam is on an uprise. Most of that has to do with why? Because a lot of that has to do with unforced beliefs. And the other thing has to do with the fact that you are born into that a lot of times. So their numbers will automatically grow just based on the fact that they may have a requirement that you automatically, right? America's close where we automatically want to require that you begin to figure out who you are spiritually and what you want to do. You know what I mean? Who is it? You like, do you get saved? Do you go get baptized? Right? And you need to go get baptized. You know, where do you, and where I'm at, they always would say, where do you go to church? Right? Where do you go to church? You go to church over here? You know what I mean? Oh, you don't go? Oh, okay. Like that, especially in the Bible belts. You guys all know this. And this is somewhat of American thing, right? So what defined us and what defined a lot of that comes down to the fact that it's a part of our lives, it's a part of living, is where we have this thing called spirituality. And the spirit, usually in the realm of what we know from organized and systematic religion, is and this way the systems of the governments work, is that you would just automatically go to a church, and the church would have schools, and the church would have Bible schools, and it would have all these things functioning. And I'm not against it. It's just where we've been. But I'm here to tell you, mark my word, I'm here to tell you, we're entering into a space because we have a lot of understanding. And that understanding is everything that we've been told the absolute truth? Is everything we've been told the absolute truth? And we all clearly know that everything we've been told is not the absolute truth. It's not the absolute truth. Anytime we start having absolute truth, we start knowing that, I don't know if this is right, right? I don't know if this is right. Something's just weird. I'm here to tell you, Malachi is not absolute truth. Malachi is just absolutely feeling what he's feeling and absolutely just being Malachi, right? And saying what's in my spirit and looking for in I would say in my soul that's connected to spirit, right? Because soul has ego, soul is connected to all these other human things, right? But if I move out of duality and move into the consciousness of oneness, what happens is I realize and understand that where we've been does not have to be where we're going to go. Because where we've been, when we learn to let go, what happens and allow, what happens is new things arise. New things arrive. Hey, welcome in the room. I see you popping in the room. You got to get welcomed into the room. I see you. Where we're talking about the spirituality in 2024. Spirituality in 2024, right? What does it look like? Who is it? How's it showing up in your life? And I'm here to let you know intuitively, you are able to do above what you can imagine. Yes, I see you. Divine Miss Dixon, I believe that is. Yes, you are able to be and become more than you ever could imagine, more than history has ever said. We have the ability to broadcast, we have the ability to see something, feel something, and let something resonate with us and allow us to come out and blast it out, right? Because I'm here to say that what I know and what I'm feeling is something that is going to be able to help individual people be okay. Yes, yes, I see you, and you can freely chat. Everybody needs to know when you come into this space, you free to ad lib and you free to tap in there. And please, wherever you viewing this, please, you can actually comment. You can have replies. You could talk to each other, right? Because one of the things about awakening, it is no longer that we need to awaken individuals that come into some knowingness, and we grant somebody this pastor, or we grant somebody this divine calling and bishop and everything on their life, and then all of a sudden everybody has to just sit there and listen to the bishop or listen to the spiritual. I don't get even the gurus, Sanjay Guru, right? We can listen to them people and we can get something from those people. But the thing is there is something boiling up inside you. There is something amazing inside you. Hear me. There's something amazing inside you. I am talking to every last one of you. I'm looking at you right now, K Divine. What is that, Letty? I see you. You just come into the room, right? You divine one, you divine soul. I see you. And not only do I see you, your higher self sees you. Let's move out of duality and understand there's something great amongst every last one of us. There's something great that is always hovering above us and ready for us to take launch, ready for us to move into another higher self. Spirituality in 2024 is when we realize and we understand things. People talk about new age. New age ain't nothing new about the new age. That Alice, that was really when that Theocracy Society, and that you talking about Alice Baker, or I believe, I can't believe, and she had like many different writings. She come from the UK. That was like in the 1800s. Ain't nothing new about the new age, right? And that's nothing but most Western Christianity that wants to have you afraid to even read a book. The same people that wanted to have you afraid to put on makeup or wear a dress or make you wear a dress. Now we want to focus on people that's wearing dresses because they men, or focus on people that focus on whether you want to wear one or not, or whether we start dealing with that situation or not, dealing with who's accepted and who's not. Listen, over on this side of the Malachi, we be beyond the listening. I mean, talking about who's included, right, to do all these things. We're beyond dealing with inclusion. You are more than included, right? And let's go. Let's go. We are filled with greatness that needs to be released. Absolutely. There are more people waiting on us, right? Because as you become free, Apostle Paul talks about the praise begets praise. And what that means is as you see somebody else releasing, oh wow. Have you ever seen that thing where the guy gets out and he's crazy dancing, right? And everybody looking at it like, look at this dude, right? This dude is crazy. He's out there dancing. And then it took that one person to get up and start dancing, right? Out there just letting it loose. And before too long, the ones that weren't dancing begin to be the odd ones out. Spirituality 2024 is moving beyond the doors of religious spaces. It's even in the people that are into the yoga and into the spiritual, what we call spirituality, right? You got yoga people and you got people that do some Buddhism practices and things of that nature, right? You can develop and you can have a little bit of Christianity and Buddhism and all these different things. People do that. They've been doing that for years, right? What I'm talking about with spirituality in 2024, I'm saying these things are beginning to merge and to arrive to a whole new spectrum of understanding. I see you as you enter into the room and to the space. There's no booty shaking happening over here, Instagram, because y'all always be the one to be having the live videos. If you go see what live videos out there, I know it's just not my algorithm. So I'll be looking to see what's out there, because those are the Instagrams that be getting all the, 450 people watching it, right? Go watch it if you want to watch it. I don't care, right? Over here, we're going to be talking about spirituality in 2024 and how to change your life. And it's going to begin today. It's going to begin right now because you're focusing. And this has to do with me speaking to you, talking about you, and talking about what's in the atmosphere and what's in the air, what's in the spectrum, right? What's in the quantum field. We wouldn't be able to have this conversation if it wasn't for people tapping in and tuning in and being able to say, what do I want to do? What's going on? What's happening? I want to be able to do some things in my life. Understand? You want to do some things in your life? Some of you are doing some things in your life. Some of you called to do some things in your life. Spirituality in 2024 is when you begin to learn how to, you understand what self-love means, and you begin to understand that. You begin to understand what shadow work is, and dealing with the shadow, dealing with the opposing self, dealing what is here, right? As it talks about wrestling against flesh and blood, really you're wrestling against your mind. That's what you wrestle against more than anything, is you wrestle against what's in your head and not coming out, or it's coming out and you don't be able to see it. Spirituality in 2024 is when we begin to recognize, and we begin to ask questions of ourselves. We begin to investigate. We begin to find social media channels, and we begin to make sure that we're getting the content into our lives. Because you're getting this short form video, you need to make sure you're getting some content into your life that is resonating with your spirit. And tomorrow when you wake up, you're going to wake up and you feel good. And as you feel good, and if you don't feel good when you wake up, you're okay still saying, you know what, I'm okay, even though I don't feel good, because I'm going to change some of my behaviors. I'm not just going to exercise just to exercise. I'm exercising so I can help this body. And I need to help this body so I can help myself. And I'm going to help myself so I can help these people, right? What good is the world without each other? What good is the world without each other? Huh? I need you. You don't need nobody. That's a lie. That's a lie. I need you, and you need me. Yes, because we are one great big family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? I love you. You love me. See that purple light? Remember Barney? Remember Mr. Rogers? Mr. Rogers actually was a Christian man writing songs, right? For the people, for kids, bridging the gap. When people were going through different things with race, right? People were going some things in acceptance. And Mr. Rogers was a guiding light as a person that was a Christian, right? But he found a way to navigate and to pull it all in, right? And to leave the world with an expression, right? As we die, the consciousness of who he is, right? Leaves. It stays, it remains, and it joins the collective. We're raising the consciousness. You're part of it. We're raising the consciousness. What's the consciousness? The awareness. The awareness of what? The awareness that we are here. The awareness that we are evolving. And as we understand that we're evolving, Barbara Marx Hubbard, Conscious Evolution, right? Go look it. It's on Gaia. She's got books, YouTube, Barbara Marx Hubbard. Conscious evolution. We got to realize that we evolve, and evolution is a part of life, right? We go from one phase to another phase to another phase. But as we evolve, as you're getting old, You must realize and understand as you're getting older, you got to realize and understand your habits and the things you do may not work for you. When you're 20 years old, you can go eat a bowl of ice cream possibly at night, and still your cells of your structure of your body, the telomeres are still not losing their programming. Follow me. Look it up. DNA structure telomeres. Aging, anti-aging has to do with telomeres, cellular structure, DNA, right? If the way we reverse a lot of that has to do with what you do with the habits of your life to increase the telomeres, right? So you don't have sagginess. Being happy, being joyful, having gratitude can actually lengthen your telomeres, right? Doing certain things in your life can change your life. Spirituality in 2024 is realizing that you are here. Let's be present. You are here. Spirituality in 2024 is realizing God as a deity. We need to be focusing on who are you as a representation of a deity, the self in the flesh, as I connect from my soul to the spirit. Huh? Come on, man. Talk to me. Epigenetics? Absolutely. Over here, you're going to learn a little bit of science. We're going to talk to epigenetics, and I could go. We could go far out into the theoretical quantum, but we can come on back down to what we can do in our lives today. You hear me? Self-awareness is really, really important. Who are you? Man, I need to get to the point where I need to be able to actually give somebody else a star. Where are you calling? Where you coming from, girl? Come on. I need you in my group. I got to have the people in my group that understand spirituality in 2024 is about not just being woke, but awakening. Awakening is a thing that continuously goes on. Evolution is a thing that continues on. Conscious evolution is when we realize and we are conscious, we're aware that we're aging. We are aware that the practices that we do are not working. We can do things politically and be like, oh, this is not right politically. Oh, Biden's doing this and Trump doing that, right? We could do that all day. And some of these people are doing some silly stuff. Both of them are 70-plus-year-old white males, right? I'm done with the conversation. I'm done with it. I see you, Jacob. I can hear you a little bit. That's my son upstairs. The thing about where we are today is that we must understand and not just appear woke, but awakening. And awakening is understanding that our practices and what we do on the day and how we treat ourselves and how we rectify with our own awareness is what comes out. And if we want a brighter future, we gotta be willing to work with the shadow. Welcome to those who just enter into this space, right? Come if you want your life change, leave if you're happy with where you are. Understand. Spirituality in 2024. We don't need to no longer say I'm not it's like I'm spiritual but not religious, right? You could still be adapt to some level of faith, right? It's hard in America because there's so many Christian people, because we have to claim it from history. Technically, to a certain degree, we had to claim Christianity because there were so many, and they were like, what? Okay, what church you go to? When it comes to spirituality, right? And so the church gets left, all right, well, I'll deal with the physical, and you go to the doctor with the physical, and then you leave the spiritual to the pastor or something. And I'm like, man, you might need to talk to a therapist. We don't do a lot of transpersonal. I practice a lot of transpersonal coaching, which we deal with science, but yet though we will tap into spirit as an intuition as in the heart, right? As in the presence of being presence, as in another level is understanding how we vibrate within a frequency of understanding meditation, not just mindfulness meditation. That is a form of meditation. Mindfulness, market. Mindfulness is a form of meditation. What is the difference? Mindfulness is being mindful. It is a form of meditation. Transcendental is a form of meditation. That's older. That's what Steve Jobs did. Transcendental meditation. There's new methods of meditation that will arrive. Deep meditation, right? Walking meditation. Essentially, the way I like to look at meditation from a business standpoint, from a person standpoint, is that you have a thought. Someone type in there, they might be able to Google it. How many thoughts did you have in a given day? Right? It's 40,000 or something, or a minute. I don't know. You have a lot of thoughts firing in your brain. The synapses in your brain is constantly firing, right? I have the I don't like to claim it, but I say I have the behaviors of someone with ADD, ADHD, right? Meaning the way my brain works and being able to focus. But the thing is the way our lives, here we go. See, it just did it. It just, by saying that, it just went zap. 40,000 thoughts. We have a lot of thoughts. So out of all of our thoughts, we have some requiring, acquiring the focus, being able to focus on something, acquiring the information, being able to pull the information up, right? When we have all these thoughts firing and everything going on, when you meditate and you practice meditation, the frequency and brain waves that are happening, you got, prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, got all the various quadrants of the brain, left brain, right brain, pineal gland. There's all these different quadrants of the brain, and consciousness, matter of fact, consciousness is not necessarily just in your brain. You have all these different things, right? And a lot of these different thoughts. But when you tap into meditation, that's when I believe you're tapping into presence. And when you tap into presence, you're tapping into the soul. And when you tap into the soul, right, you're tapping into the spirit. Now we're getting into deity. Now you're tapping into the God self. Now you're tapping into what exists outside of the body. And when you take a moment to say, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it. Hey, professor. When you feel it, when you feel the thoughts, how do I feel my thoughts? I want you to think, and whatever you're thinking right now, everybody's thinking something right now, right? You might be focused on me. You might be looking at my hair. You might be thinking about the color of my background, right? You might be thinking. Even when you're not thinking, you thinking. When you don't think, you're thinking. Until you get to a level of meditation and you take the breath. Breath is spirit. And you begin to breathe and you say, I'm breathing with intention. Deep breath, holding, releasing. How many, raise your hands, how many people are either meditators or breath workers, and you are practicing doing it, or you want to practice more doing it, right? Breathing with intention, releasing, letting go, right? With intention, letting go. Oh, wait a minute. The main Malachi, I need to take these comments off. You got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that name, the main Malachi. Don't be coming up here and talk about your name is the main Malachi. You messing up my flow. That's funny. The main Malachi. You got to be a unique dude. Why you come in here? I love it. Oh my goodness. What's up, bro? Thoughts firing in your brain is constantly happening. Spirituality in 2024. One of the things I'm doing is the divine authentic self. How do we get closer to understanding who we are originally, who we are divinely? Divinely is when we start talking about deity. Deity typically is when a person may mention the word God. When you mention the word God, all of a sudden we wake up a lot of people's antennas. And a lot of the antennas are tied to a lot of brain chemistry, trauma. It's tied to a lot of things in life. What's up, the church dropout? Love you, bro. Um, when you have the antennas, when it comes to the word God, we start getting all confused, or we start getting, whatever feeling we have or expression we have towards that. It's almost political. I'm here to redefine God. I'm here to redefine words, right? Help redefine words from understanding. How do we come up with those words to begin with? How do those words begin to change or morph? No different than the word woke. Anybody that mentions the word woke today, 90% of the people, especially if you're not African American or American African or just black, right? That's a whole nother talk. That's a whole nother talk. But if you say woke in Black America, we think about 1960, and woke means, man, what's happening? What's the gaslighting? What's the gaslighting of who we are and the way you treat us? Oh, we ain't treating you. We're treating you fine. And then behind scenes, you like, man, his name is Tyrone. We can't hire him. I don't know who Tyrone is. Most likely Tyrone might be black. So behind closed doors, right, you gaslighting folks. Wokeism, back or being woke to a black person, 9 times out of 10, you think about the history. Today, when you say the word woke, we think, a lot of times it can be political, and you just think that they're talking about LGBTQ, or you think maybe talk about Black Lives Matter. It's much deeper than that. We're moving from the word woke has been redefined, is all I'm saying, to a certain degree amongst a collective consciousness. Carl Jung, look him up. That's what collective consciousness is from. A lot of my philosophies, a lot of my principles are not just coming from me. I have an addiction to philosophy. I have an addiction to psychology. I have an addiction to information and in knowledge and understanding, right? Because my divine original self is being able to be used and call up things and do things and conjure things, and being able to meditate and master the frequencies and understands and vibrations, intuitively grow, becoming more psychic based on the information that I have stored in here, and it can recall and use this information or principles or understandings or methodologies. Follow me, methodologies, so that I can actually perform, right? I can perform astral projection as I go from to and fro from different places, and doing the astral projection. That's the reason why I know, what would Jesus do today? He would freak out. He's Jesus, so he might be like Nikola Tesla and be like, I told you so. But other people in that era or time would come to today and freak out because of the fact that their consciousness, their brains don't vibrate at this level of frequency as we continue to grow. That's the reason why everybody gets freaked out by AI, although AI can do what it do with the consciousness that the people have today, because they would manipulate the consciousness, no different than how we would be afraid whenever Einstein was like, I don't want to be involved with the atom bomb. You can use some of my understandings, but there's some other physicists that took the atom bomb, as you know, if you look up the movie, right? He's the one that took the atom bomb and actually created it, and was like, what are we going to do? Oh my God, I don't know if we're going to blow up the whole world or not, but I guess we should just do it because we are afraid, right? So therefore, right now, we still run afraid of the atom bomb, right? Or the science behind the atom, right? And the being able to do what we are able to do as humans, no different than what we can do with things like artificial intelligence. We are doing these things, have been doing these things, guys. Follow me, stay with me now, right? So this is spirituality in 2024, when you can begin to see things. We need more intuition. We need people to be intuitive. We need more people that are able to actually vibrate in the frequency and understand their psychic abilities. As in the church, we would say prophetic abilities, but there's a major difference, because I don't really see too many psychics in the church. A lot of times you have prophets in the church, but you don't really have a lot of psychics in the church. Some prophets could be psychics, but they don't say the word. So therefore, they a lot of times give you gifts of the spirit, and they might tell you a future, but typically a lot of people don't conjure up or actually act in the psychic realm of clairvoyance or clairaudience or mediumship. I have friends that are mediums and they can actually feel the presence of dead people. And once the frequency of the dead people know that you can communicate with them outside of the inside, getting outside of duality, and you can tap into those individual people, individual spirits, right? There's a door, there is a realm that's open within that human being, right? Some can have this gift originally. Some can have this gift that grows over time. And what happens with that is literally feel that person's presence. That person understands that they're there. And therefore, how do they do it? A lot of times they have qualifiers. And a qualifier would be like the tattoo that you just got, right? Your grandmother says XYZ. She really loves it, right? So you don't really see that much really happening in churches, right? As they say, you don't see healers, you don't see even healers going inside hospitals, and you don't see prophets that are in the church going to win the lottery. You don't see them, you know what I mean? You're a prophet, right? You like, oh, he's accurate. He's accurate. Well, you know what I mean? How many times have you seen a church prophet go in and be like 76972, right? You don't even see that in the world, really, not too much. You do see people manifest, and people have manifested quite a bit when it comes to understanding the gifts and abilities that we can have and people can win. People can manifest some things. Welcome in the room. I think I see my brother DE Polk. He might stay here for a minute. Bless you. Can't wait to have you, wait to see you. Spirituality in 2024. That's where we on. Spirituality doesn't need to be affiliated with religion ever. We do it, but religion is something we have just done because that's just what we developed over the course of time of life. I think spirituality was something that we had from the time that we began to understand and realize that what it is what it is. I have learned a lot from a little bit of plant-based medicine. Yes, that's mushrooms, right? And leveling up in consciousness, understanding like how things function, how things work. As we leveled up in consciousness, we became more aware. Meditation was a big one that we did. We do, but I'm talking about the early species of the human being. Begin to see the thoughts, feel the thoughts, meditate, right? Let the thoughts go into spaces, go into places. And then some people had different gifts to understand, like, did you know if you put this lens with that, and all of a sudden you can develop, I can see better, right? I wear contacts, right? These are blue light. We realize that all this light that would come in, this LED, come on, y'all, I'm talking, this is spirituality. These are blue light glasses, folks. Why do we have blue light glasses? Because we realize that LED that we like, this saving energy, which is a whole nother technology and understanding, saves energy and it doesn't burn as hot. Diodes. LED is a liquid something diode, right? It's oxidation. It's still a level of technology that provides light, but that light, what does it do? Why do you have blue light? Look it up. Circadian rhythm. The natural ability for your brain to know it's bedtime. We would know it's bedtime because the lights would dim, sunlight. The lights, literally, the sunlight would affect us. The energy of the sun itself as the earth is shifting, right? The sun is not physically going down, folks. Yes, we in some quantum. The sun is not physically going down. Right now, we are moving, I think, 62. How fast is the earth? How fast is the earth? Right now, the earth is spinning. The earth right now is spinning 1,000 miles per hour. The earth is spinning. Listen, folks, listen. The earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour. Hey, Tara. And we are orbiting at a speed of 67,000 miles per hour throughout this galaxy. Talk about God ain't the universe. Do you know what the universe is? Get the do you know what the universe is? We're doing God a favor when we say God is the universe. You don't know what the universe is. You get on a phone call, use the invisible frequencies of the world right now with the FCC, the magnetic fields that we figured out, and blasting satellites in the sky so we can, those satellites have to stick to the Earth's gravity. Oh my God. Religious people can be, I mean, sometimes we can be stupid when we really realize and understand how, in order for us to do what we do, we have to have science, and science has to have some kind of tap in, tune in into the voice or understanding or elements of the God factor in order for us to get to where we are. And to where we're going, we have to begin to awaken more people such as yourself. We got to realize spirituality 2024 is when the science of life begins to merge some of the things that we have known from religious spaces, and we begin to understand God, the deity, right, is wrapped in all of it, and that is God. It's not just the supreme being that's out there that's like, you, I'm a, what are you doing? Pop. You ain't following me. You know what I mean? God's sitting back, walking around, ready to pop you on your head. Pow! I'm God. And really, you know what? Really, that's nothing but a lot of times that's just church people, and they're using the collective consciousness, and they're using the hundreds of years of torment or the hundred years of understanding to say, we got to keep you in this framework. And you can't get too far out of that framework. Pop, that's new age. Right? You crawling out. Oh, you just want to sin and be out there sinning, right? And doing the wrong thing. I'm like, who? Just because you believe that I was born and I should be, it says I was born in sin. Can you imagine if I just came to you and I was like, you know what? You are divine. You are a beautiful soul. And I begin to tell you at the age of 1, you're divine. You're a beautiful soul. You are elements and presence of God. You're a kid. But I keep on telling that kid. I talked to someone today, and he was talking about the sin nature, right? And we can have sin nature. And I'm like, one thing I have a problem with sin nature is I haven't not seen 2-year-old or 1-year-old murderers. Anybody, come on, y'all. Anybody in the room, raise y'all hand up if y'all seen some 1-year-old murderers that literally came out the womb and was like, unless they mental retarded and have something going on with their brain. I worked in that field. That's in developmental disability, special education. That's what I did in the first 10 years of my life. Right. If you come in there, we got markers to understand that if a kid comes out, right, there's markers. They're not speaking, and they're not talking, or they're doing something that is out of behavior. Begin to be like, oh, there's forms of autism. Oh, there's forms of this. We begin to understand and know when a kid is dealing with something. I'm talking about kids in sin nature, how they say, are you born in this sin? Like you born like you gonna be, I know kids that can have developmental disabilities and they can have issues, but you talk about a kid being born in, you're born in sin. I believe as you grow up, are you telling me so as you grow up, the sin nature just automatically comes out? Your selfishness and all that? Do you know that humans are just animals? What makes us different is our intelligence and our ability to our brain function. I think it's the baboon. You got to get it right when you start talking about humans and monkeys. It's not just any old monkey. The specific There's difference between chimps and baboons, and there's 99% markers, like 98% or something like that, of a baboon, I think, or it's maybe not even baboon. It's some specific monkey that we have the markers of as human beings, right? They're able to formulate tools and make things, and it's just talking about evolution. It's not saying that the human face just was like, oh, he's a monkey. It's talking more about cells and cellular structures. There's iron in our body. There's water in our body. Everything on this, everything in this planet. I need to get rid of my sword. This is my sword, my God sword, in case I need to pop somebody in the head. Right? Everything on this planet is sourced from this planet. Even you. That's spirituality in 2024. I know y'all leaving me. I've been on here for a minute. Spirituality in 2024 is to know that everything on this planet is sourced from this planet. Even us. We're recycled beings. The only thing that is new within us is the elements of who we are as a spirit. The things that I speak on when it comes to spirituality in 2024 is awakening, understanding the journey, and understanding that there's principles that we have had in the past. We've had principles, but understanding that we're moving in a direction of knowing. Can I get a witness to somebody knowing? There's a knowing that we can have. We can know that there's a awakening. And if you look at a lot of people that's in astrology, and you look at a lot of people that are dealing with the various levels of quantum realm, we can look at some of the things that's talking about our extinction, the extinction of the human species, or the extinction to extend the extension, right? We're going to extend the human being, or we're going to extinct the human being. And a lot of that has to do with us. Consciousness has to do with our awareness. Technology is fooling us, y'all. And the reason why technology is fooling us is because we see the advancement in technology, but our consciousness is not keeping up as fast as our technology is moving. Let me explain that to you real quick. I live in the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's probably almost 450,000 people, million people metropolitan, right? It's the state of Oklahoma. They have a funny way of dealing with their taxes and the way they do taxes. And let me explain this to you with the way things are. In this city, it was the oil capital of the world. Follow me, follow me. It was the oil capital of the world. It had this big boom in the early 1900s to the 20s. Come on, y'all. This is some consciousness. I want you to stick with me. This is coming. Native Americans, through the Trail of Tears, was pushed out of, mostly out of Florida, I believe, in the East Coast and all around, really. And the Trail of Tears, they forced those people and said, y'all can go to Oklahoma. We're going to give you land. I live right now in Osage County. I still feel the presence of some of the Osage. I live in Osage County. There are 30 something tribes, but there's seven clans. There's certain things about tribes that people don't really understand. Stay with me. I'm going to try to get through this so you can really fully understand where we are consciously. The city developed and it boomed because they found out that there were minerals in the land. The minerals are a natural happening substance that provides energy and has value. Long story short, they begin to just take the land as they found out, and they just take the land. The movie that just came out, Killers of a Flower Moon, talks a lot about what they did when it comes to human species and people, and how they were able to get this land from killing people, from marrying Native American women. They did some ill shit to people. so they can get this money in this land. The land develops. They even wanted the land in called Black Wall Street, which developed because of a lot of the Native Americans and a lot of the money that was happening in Black Wall Street happened. All this money and all this land began to be such a big thing, folks, such a big thing that a lot of murder and a lot of things happening and people just taking. And what essentially happened was the city blew up. They were hiring people from New York City to build buildings like New York City. There's an exact replica by the same builder that built the World Trade Center. And he did it half the height because they were just they had so much money. There's a lot of Art Deco, a lot of like 2 and 3 block mansions, right? Because they were oil capital of the world. The city blew up big. And as it began to blow up big, infrastructure and highways began to develop in its core areas. Also, what happened was suburbs began to develop fairly quickly. So much money was here and so much was developed that the city began to explode after North Tulsa got, disrupted. And then we have equal rights come in and people begin to move out of certain areas at certain times. That's where you get a lot of suburbs. People move out of the cities, move into the suburbs. There's a lot of benefit to moving to the suburbs. A lot of, people were able to get money and so on and so forth. But they moved to the suburbs, but they moved so quickly that the roads did not get developed to get the people to the roads. Consciousness is in technology allows us to see the world instantly. Engineers can really do some things. Right now, what you see is not reality. You see in the graphical user interface. You see in the repercussions of what the programmer said, what idiots like us or people like us, if you will, they need things to be one button and the button needs to say start. It needs to be here, start, simple, right? So technology tricks us and we see all the advancement, but the roads to consciousness, the roads are not prepared. Just like in my city, if you live out south, they got a 2-lane highway that should have been a 4-lane highway years ago, but the infrastructure and it blew up so quickly that the infrastructure could not handle it. So now you got a lot of clogged up areas, very, very, very clogged up areas where it'd take you an hour and a half to get home if you hit a certain time because it's so clogged up because the consciousness wasn't right. Okay, wait, we got to develop these roads just as fast. So our consciousness right now, we are moving fast, right? Yes, I live in Tulsa. We're moving fast in this world and things seem moving fast, but our consciousness, we're arguing about 2,500, 3,000 years old stories about something that happened in the Middle East amongst Arabs. The story of Jesus is a story of Arabs. It's way, way smaller. New York versus it's way, way smaller, but it's still a developing city, right? Still a lot of, it just was an oil capital. So it just busted and developed. But the whole point of me telling that story has more to do with, I want you guys to understand this. Consciousness. If you have a city and it develops and the infrastructure of the city doesn't develop with the city, that's like saying we're going to advance a lot of people in states of living and being, but we're not going to advance their consciousness. It's like taking somebody from the 1940s and bringing them into today. Somebody that's 70 years old and bringing them into in 1940 and bringing to today. They're going to have they're going to have some issues, right? They're going to have some issues. So if you take somebody from 500 years ago and you bring them into today's time, what issues will a person have? Their consciousness won't even be able to listen. If you take somebody from 500 years ago and they hear me talk, they would think I'm possessed, which I could be. Right? They'll think I'm possessed because of the fact that it's like, how does he talk? What words are he saying? I don't quite get it, but I do understand he's an intelligent being. Oh my God. Right. Wow. Oh my God. Like, because they didn't have they didn't have, knowledge and understanding. The consciousness wasn't developed to the point where they can compute. The brain wasn't even where it is today. So the brain right now today is the world is moving so fast that our brains and things can't keep up. Right. As we learn and we begin to be more intuitive and tap and tune into the self, and we begin to tap in and tune into what's available for us as us, we begin to understand like the technology is here, but we are one of the greatest pieces of technology on the planet. Can I get a witness? Oh yes, taking a person out of prison in 2024. There's a lot of what we call that when you have you move from one city to another and you start having um there's a term, I forgot what you call it. You can start having issues with um being in one place, you know, and I forgot what it's called. But anyways, let's see if I can have the specific. I'm looking for a specific track here. Culture shock. Thank you. Thank you. Country mouse, city mouse, culture shock. You can have culture shock. What is a culture shock? Culture. Your brain is so used to being used to what it is. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, what the? ah. We're in a culture shock, folks. We are all in a culture shock and we don't realize it. But it is time that we begin to awaken. And when I say awaken, is realizing and understand that there is a greater or higher self and ability to realize I don't have to be, I'm spiritual, not religious. No, I just am. We're going to go through a presence right now, understanding the presence. I will tap in and tune into some of the formalities and some of the things that we learn to do a lot of times in religious settings. Not everything in the past is bad. It's a part of us. With me? For all those who are tapped in and tuned into this moment, this is special for me to have you with me. I think it's special for you. So if you with me right now, what I want you to do as I bring it down is I want you to understand and I want you to feel the body. Deep breath from the core. Deep breath from the core. Honored to be here. Realizing and understanding the breath is understanding life. Breath is spirit. It's a buildup. Breathing intentionally. Deep breath from the bottom and the core. And I want you to feel it and pull it up. There's a thing called a Kegel, right? You come here just in time to hear me talk about a Kegel, right? And you pull that in men between the prostate and underneath there, right? You squeeze in that. Women, it's different, but it's the same principles. As you tighten it, and you pull in. There's an energy. That's life energy. That's the reason why sex is what it is, because it's life energy. It's one of the greatest energies on the planet. And so when you pull that up and you squeeze and you deep, sometimes you do that on purpose and you squeeze it and you release, let go. Dr. Joe Dispenza begins to talk about it, squeeze it, pulling up, and you pulling up the fluid and the spinal fluid, right? And you pulling it up into the pineal gland, right? And it's coming up to your brain and your head, right? You pull it up and you squeeze it, you pull it up, that energy. And then I like to hold the breath, hold it, be here, be present. This is spirit connecting to soul, letting thoughts go for a moment. And even when they come in, it's okay. Because the training is allowing the thoughts to be with you because they're with you, but recognizing the thoughts. There's healing in this process. There's healing in this process. Be healed, not just from a physical sense, but a spiritual sense in understanding and knowing, although the consciousness seems like it's not caught up, we can project and we can come into a higher state of being and a higher state of consciousness through a meditative act. Feeling the thoughts, letting them go, being present, and being okay whenever it's not, just for a moment. And for this moment, I want you guys to be okay. Understand? You hear me, MJ? Hear me, Elise? Emanuela? Brookfield? I see your last name. Miss Rose? And my brother Ron? There's greatness bubbling. There's ideas bubbling. There's a higher you that's bubbling. Get excited. Be excited. Don't allow for what you see today on news. Don't allow for everything that you see on the news and everything that you see in life that seems to be going wrong. Don't allow this to enter into your space 100% of the time. I'm not saying to not be aware, but how aware do we need to be of some of those things that's happening? If you hear right now, just put your hand over your heart, kind of over your gut area. This is the second brain. The gut is the second brain. Heart is part of that. All this is aligned. Deep breath in and release. There's an energy in the world. This energy is beautiful. There's healing in the room. There's healing in the room. And just for this moment, I want to let the trauma and the drama and the things that you know that you want to let go for this moment, let it go. Just for this moment, through breath. Feel the cool air hit the tip of your nose. Breathe it in. And let the air roll out. I honor you. Blessings. Let this day, let this time, let your understanding of spirituality raise to the unknown. Peace. You guys are beautiful. Thank you for joining me, all of you. If you're just joining, go back and listen to the replay. I've been here for a minute. And the way I am, I can keep this going and I can talk this way that this works with me, and I can do this for literally 3 hours. Don't let me take some notes. The last thing I want to let you know is I'm doing the best I can. No, I'm not doing the best I can. I can do better. Thank you so much for the hearts. I love you guys. If you go to divineauthenticself.com, please fill out the email there. I plan to have this in the Divine Authentic Self, and I want to roll it out as soon as possible. And instead of just doing individual coaching, I'm going to do group coaching, and there's going to be different levels, but there's going to be a level that we get to be able to go through the Divine Authentic Self. There's literally 6 modules and 40 something lessons on intuition, and lessons on asking yourself questions about who you are. And if you go to divineauthenticself.com, or if you go on Instagram, you can go to my thingy, whatever it is called, my bio, and you can click that button. After tonight, I'm going to have it where you can be able to enter it, and also you can enter into the chat, and I can sing something if you enter Divine. For the Divine Authentic Self, if you enter Divine, I'll make sure you get the link, because my goal is to help raise the consciousness and bring you closer to the divineness of who you are. And not only that, tap in and tune into the spiritual element of life that is moving, becoming, and will allow you to reach higher heights in your life. Thank you, guys. Instagram. Blessings. Facebook, YouTube. I don't really do Facebook and YouTube much on here. A lot of times I do Instagram, but I appreciate you. You're part of this community. I'm building community after community, right? At least 2 main communities I'm focused on. And I appreciate you for your time. I appreciate you for this space. I really can't. Sometimes it would allow me to actually see certain aspects, but you guys are beautiful, amazing. YouTube. Oh, cool. That's so awesome. I appreciate it. Right. If you get a chance, I'll make sure this is on replay. It's a long, but it's worth it. Right. You could skip through. It's worth it. You guys are amazing. Understanding spirituality in 2024. It's the most life changing experience you can ever have. Blessings to you. Have a wonderful evening.